Good afternoon and welcome to EDUA 556 Legal and Political Aspects Week 1. I hope you've all been able to log in to the course and watch my welcome video, which has important information regarding the entire sequencing of this course, as well as the syllabus and the assignments that are going to be due throughout this term. So with that, once you've watched that, please check out this week 1 overview. So for this week, we're going to be looking at California school law. We're going to be looking at the development and implementation of a shared vision, instructional leadership, management and learning environment, family and community engagement, ethics and integrity, and external context and policy. So, given this is a law course, you are going to be looking at different scenarios throughout this semester related to policy and law within California. So I'm going to ask you, if you're not already an administrator within a school district, to flip your mindset. So if you're currently sitting in a teaching position, I want you to start to approach this course and the scenarios from the lens of a school administrator and really trying to take into account laws and policies, politics, environment, etc., as you respond to discussion boards and the various assignments. Okay, and with that, our first chapter is on California school law. So when we look at basic sources of school law, we have constitutional, statutory, administrative law, contractual law, and judicial law. That word's hard for me to say. And then the federal constitution does leave the creation of an educational system to states. So within California, we make up our own laws, California Education Code, which governs the work that we do within the state of California. There are federal laws and federal statutes, one being IDEA, which governs special education, one Section 504, which governs ADA, and Title IX, which is currently gender discrimination as well as sexual harassment. California state law also structures school governance, which is a school board. Most school boards are either 5 members or 7 members. They are elected officials, and their primary job is to make sure districts remain fiscally solvent, so they pass budgets and they pass board policies and education code. So you can have board policies and education code that are different than education code. You can have board policies and administrative regulations that are different than education codes, but that's just up to the individual school district to pass those. So as we go along, you're going to get this as just a very, very broad overview. We talked about state laws, and then we talk about day-to-day operations. Okay, and so that's where the board policies and administrative regulations, that's really your day-to-day work and what you're more likely to revert back to as a school administrators, to what are the policies within your district. And like I said, more often than not, most of them are aligned with education code. So as a future administrator, which areas of the law do you believe you will be most likely working through? And so most of your job will be as an assistant principal. These is typically your first one, or program specialist, to start to think about which areas you probably will be working through. So the discussion board, the first one is on servant leadership. So Concordia University is a faith-based institution with its values set in servant leadership. And one of the things I love about this course is we start to really dive into that servant leadership. And that's really one of my core pillars as a school administrator that I truly believe in terms of serving others, leading with empathy, leading with heart, leading with courage, but more importantly, making the right decisions on the betterment of students. And so as you look at this, you're going to be looking at, you're going to be responding to this prompt. You're going to reflect on the virtue of courage in the role of upholding ethical principles, advocating for student rights, and challenging injustices within an educational system. So you're gonna weave in your thoughts about servant leadership. Again, make sure you cite, make sure you reference, all that good stuff. And then our second one, you're going to be looking at the California School Dashboard. So you're going to be looking at the California School Dashboard. You're going to be looking at the 10 priority areas, and then you're going to be responding to the question within the prompt, but really looking at, as a future administrator, how can this website be be beneficial to you, right? Like, how are you going to leverage data to make decisions as a school administrator, and which data points are most important as you make decisions. Learning modules, you have none this week. Okay, so there'll be some in future weeks, but none this week. And then assignment 1. Assignment 1 is due on Sunday of week 2, so you have 2 weeks to do it. You're going to be selecting a position using no less than 4 in-text citations from journals, articles, etc., and you're going to answer the question, is education helped or hindered by the legal process? Okay. You're going to be providing factual, applicable examples, and you're going to answer the question on how an educator can work to ensure that schools operate consistently within the parameters of federal, state, and local laws, policies, regulations, and statutory requirements. You're going to be discussing the challenge and benefits associated with being an instructional leader under the umbrella of the legal process as it relates to examples, and then you're going to be providing some of those examples. You're going to be looking at the CAPES, you're going to be looking at the CAS bills, the Ed Code, IDEA, Section 504, etc., etc. So your deliverables are going to be a cover page, 3-page paper in APA, 4 references, and a reference page. Now, there is a graduate resource template that I will share with you via the announcement. Please use that template for all your writing assignments. You will be turning this assignment in to turnitin.com. I do understand if you have references that there's going to be some matches there, but for the most part, your page should not be a high level of match within Turnitin because it should be your own original work. Assignments, this is just a reminder. Late assignments are accepted, but they will incur a 10% point deduction for each day the assignment is submitted past the original due dates. Almost all assignments are going to be on that Sunday, except for week 8, which is on Friday. The discussion board, however, late assignments are not accepted. So the discussion boards follow Thursday through Sunday, except for week 8, which is Wednesday through Friday. The discussion board is our opportunity to collaborate and interact. Please don't work ahead. Please look at the rubric. You're going to have your initial post, and then you're going to have 2 substantive posts back to your peers. Okay, so substantive means it's going to add value. It's going to add discussion. Always make sure to cite a source. Always refer back to your learnings, and only participate in the week in which it is due. Please do not work ahead. If you're a busy beaver and you like to work ahead in the course, that's great. That's fantastic. Put it on a Google Doc, copy and paste it on the week it's due. Okay, but do not work ahead and do not post ahead. Some important resources. There's the program information, which is the APA resources. So this is all within Canvas. Please check these out. There are the graduate resources, and then there's the library resources, and then I talked about the graduate paper template, which I will make sure that you have via the announcement. Okay. Our Christian message for this week. So Christian messages are completely optional. However, I do believe they factor into becoming a servant leader or being a servant leader. And so I will talk about these as we move through the course for each and every week. So ours for this week is from Jeremiah 20-1. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. So this course can be overwhelming. It could be a lot of information. I've been a school administrator, district administrator for almost 18 to 20 years now. I do not know it all. I don't pretend to know it all. I am very thankful for Google. I am very thankful for ChatGPT. I'm very thankful for our textbook. I'm very thankful for other resources because there's no way that you would ever be able to memorize every law policy that's out there around education. Now, what you do need to know is where to go to find that law, and then using your information on how to interpret that law or having resources to help you interpret that. So this message, this information is not to harm you. It's not to overwhelm you. It's not to make you feel like you don't know it all. That's not the case at all. This is really to give you the future. This is the building blocks for you as a school administrator. It's really going to help you prosper in that future job. So take it step by step, day by day, 1 foot in front of the next. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't look at all 8 weeks and say, I don't even know how I'm going to do this. Look at week 1. Look at week 2. Put those together, package them, plan out your week, and then you'll be in a good place. Remember, this is not to harm you, but it's plans to give you hope and a future. With that, I look forward to meeting you all as we move through this course. Thank you.